I'm your host, Luke Belmar. Hit that like button. You guys are in for a crazy session today. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the crazy, studious ecosystem that China has put together.
In July 2021, the Chinese Communist Party announced its new double reduction policy aimed to reduce pressure on parents and children by stopping
Look at this shit, bro. This shit's crazy, bro. No wonder they're just
excessive
beating
homework
us in
and
every
banning
area of
certain
society.
types of off-campus
Their kids are just
tutoring.
fucking machines, bro. Look
China
at
has
this shit. Look at this shit, bro. Look at this craziness. They're gonna be the biggest global power, or at least, bro, they're gonna be fighting for it. Look at these kids, bro. They're fucking drones. They're machines of the system.
China has issued regulations for off-campus tutoring services, banning private firms.
是教育行业应该是有
This is a tutor.
快3年的样子。
Private tutoring sector. The sudden policy change has led to a tutoring black market, which could benefit wealthy families and price
Crazy,
out
bro.
poorer families.
So now that they banned basically private tutoring, now there's like a black market for private tutoring. So people are selling, the super rich people are still tutoring their kids. Those kids are getting better educations, and the ones that could usually afford it publicly can no longer afford it. So now broke kids basically don't get tutoring, and they not only get abused with their hours, right? On top of that, they are outbeat in the system. It's already crazy.
在经济实力允许的情况下，会把老师请到家里。
It's like a crazy like pre-military mindset. Look at him, bro. It's like it's if it's not war, it's education or some sort. It's kind of crazy, but it's all done in a herd mentality, right? It's all done together. It's pretty crazy.
In China, good academic scores lead to social mobility and the promise of a better
Yeah,
life.
that's exactly what I was saying, right? It was exactly what I was saying. So in China and a lot of Asian countries, your way out of the ladder is in a corporate structure, right? And you need that formal education. And that's usually your rite of passage, right? Oh, my son went to this, or my daughter went to this and this and this, right? And they regard it a lot in a more prestigious way than we do, at least nowadays. But this shit's crazy,
Especially
bro.
for those from poor rural communities. But for parents like Dai Shuqi's, private tutoring is used as a way to ensure that a family's middle-class status will endure to the next generation.
Yeah, so these kids are basically born already with the social pressures of performing in a certain way with certain tasks, and they're already like beaten to submission by the moment they're born. They're just carrying out somebody else's dreams.
There were an estimated 3 million education companies in China at the end of 2020.
3 million
The
education
sudden
companies
overhaul
all
sent
shut
tutoring
down.
companies into freefall.
That's
Tens
crazy.
of thousands of people lost their jobs
Look at this though, bro. Isn't this fucking nuts, dude?
in the education sector overnight.
Damn, bro.
那你把这个杯子罩在里头之后，发现过上一段时间呀，我现在周末的话可能会。
So when somebody gives you bullshit about the Matrix, imagine you could have been born right here. Like all you get to do is study 18 hours a day, and then you work a corporate job. Like you're brainwashed from the moment you're born. So I don't want to hear this bullshit that the Matrix isn't real. It's like it's literally right in front of our fucking faces, bro.
After the new regulations, tutoring companies were forced to either stop their primary and secondary school tutoring classes or pivot to new business models, such as consulting services, off-campus care, and non-core subjects like art.
Let's see what else is important here. Is there anything else meaningful here? There you go. The girl ended up being an emo. The girl ended up being an emo, emotional girl. That's the moral of the story here. She ended up being an emo girl because she was slaved away by the Chinese school system. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have children here, okay, just be very careful about submitting them to the state. Imagine how many people have surrendered their children to the education of another individual, right? So in a lot of these countries, for example, in China, you get 1 day off and then the other 6 days you're actually in school. So the school system and the teachers are actually raising and indoctrinating their beliefs and their worldview upon your children and spending more time with your kids than with you. And if you're out here nurturing children, well, you're gonna mold them, right? So if it's the state and the government, the one that's dictating and nurturing your children, then they are just going to be products of the system. They're not going to be products of you. How are you supposed to build a good family dynamic by only seeing your family one day a week? And the day that you see them, it's absolute bullshit. So think about it. It's pretty crazy, bro. But it's sad. And the reason it's sad is because people try to be like, oh, well, this is just an anomaly. No, this is happening to billions of people, right? Across the world in many perspectives. So when we talk about this idea of self-education, people mock it, right? People mock this idea of self-education because they assume that self-education is going to bear them the same results of the educational system. And it's not, right? And the reason it's not is because self-education requires intentionality about what you want to learn. You can now pick any topic in the world and study it and become highly proficient in it, right? You have no excuse whatsoever to not pick up any skill that you want, any topic that you want, and become highly proficient in that topic. You can do it in months, right? If you dedicate yourself to that craft. Now you have that possibility. For the longest time in society, that opportunity wasn't available to everybody. But now you have that. So the question is, what are you doing with it? You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.